And welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker as we preview the round 7 for the AFL. So for anyone that is new to Hook, Line and Sinker, what we're actually trying to do, so we look at all the lines from the week. We tell you what ones we like. We obviously have our own numbers from that. A little hook bet for the first game of the round, which will be the Friday night. The actual line, I'll ask Jev where he thinks the line sits. We see what line we actually like at $1.30 as well. And then it may be a leg to stay away from. So Jev, last week, I actually went, because I didn't put in the last game because the line wasn't out yet, but went 4 from 8. So I had the Freo line, which obviously the doggies got up. West Coast covered 66. I had Brisbane -2.5. So that got up. Sydney, Jev, you did call it. You said that the Swans were going to get absolutely trampled, but I didn't believe it. I thought they would have covered 30. Now, Jev, this is a bad beat. I had Adelaide -3.5.
3. They're on like 3.
Half a point. North Melbourne couldn't cover, had them -40.5. They obviously got done by 43. And then the Bombers, obviously +33. That was a good one. But Jev, that Swans line, you did love it.
Yeah, you can't bet against Geelong at GMHBA Stadium. Like it's if they can get +6.5 at home, you take that every day of the week. I don't care if it's against the Swans. I don't care who it's against. Geelong at GMHBA Stadium. I think they play 8 more games there for the year.
They do.
They'll go 8-0. Like you take that every day of the week. Plus points for them at home.
Gee, they're probably still going to finish top 4, which is fucked.
I know. After starting zipping 3.
They'll
win the next 10. I don't even know their schedule. They'll just go 10 in a row. You can just tell they will.
They will. All right, Jev, let's crack into it. So the first game, so we've got St Kilda and Port Adelaide. This is at Marvel. Do you have a hook for me?
Yeah, my hook is basically taking the Saints to win, Sinclair 25 and Wilkie 15. I was just looking at some St Kilda stats under the lid this year. They are going to squeeze Port Adelaide. I don't rate Port Adelaide's defense very much. For one, and they're just going to squeeze them. They're going to win this game easy. Sinclair will get his 25. Port have no one to go with him. We watched Nick Dacos torch Port Adelaide. Like, I don't think they play well on a half-backer. He'll have his 25 again. And then Wilkie's had 24 touches as a fullback 3 separate times this season. He's had 19 and 17 in 2 other games. Then he only had 8 against the Blues. So I'm looking at his against Gold Coast, Freo, they were all under the lid. Yeah, he gets over 15 every time. So Saints win, Sinclair 25, Wilkie 15. That is an absolute lock for me, Das.
Yeah, no, a few little hooks that I love, Jev. I love any of the small forwards for 2 goals. All of them $2. Your man Higgins obviously only kicked the one last week. Look for him to bounce back. He's $2. Mitch Owens is 210, and Dan Butler's 280.
Oh, love Dan Butler for 2 under the lid.
So whatever one of those small forwards that you like. As you said, Jev, I agree. I think the Saints will absolutely squeeze them as well. Now, I had a few people last week said that they did like some of the funny little stats. So here's one for you. Port Adelaide has covered the line in each of its last 7 times as Marvel. So not that I like that, but Jev, where do you think the line is?
Yeah, so Saints are top of the ladder. So it'll definitely Saints points. I'm going to say they're going 1 goal better than Port Adelaide right now, and then they get another goal because it's Marvel Stadium. So I'm going to say about 12.5.
Yeah, so it's 13.5, Jev. You are 1 point off. So would you rather take, so obviously we like to tease these leagues into $1.30. Would you like to take the Saints +5.5 or Port Adelaide +30.5?
The Saints +5.5, definitely.
So
Saints points at Marvel, absolutely love that. Are you taking the same one?
Yep, 100%. Some teams are just good at some venues. It's like you could take the Hawks at fucking in Tassie. Like just some things are meant to be. And like Port Adelaide don't barely play at Marvel. There'll be no one there. Saints supporters will be rocking. I think they absolutely smash them.
They're still like their firepower, the Saints. Like I think the Port Adelaide +30 line will go close to covering. But I prefer that Saints side of it by a mile.
Yeah, well, I just don't see the Saints losing. So if I can get them at +5, I reckon that's an absolute lock. Any leagues that you're looking to stay away from?
I watched Jason Horne-Francis play at Etihad last year, and he is not made for Etihad. No, I don't know. I haven't had a good enough deep dive into sinker legs yet. I haven't really looked at the odds. It is only Wednesday. This is a Friday game. We just finished last round of footy, so I haven't had a look at anything too much. Have you got one?
Mate, that was exactly what I said. I just said Jason Horn-Francis will be one that I will not be looking towards getting. Like him for 15 touches, $1.42, which is, could be a little fill up your multi, but he just doesn't seem like a massive ball winner. And he can just go lost in games and in patches. And I just think the way that he does definitely doesn't take over games like other players. Like I think the Saints are going to be playing a lot of keepings off. They're going to be hard to get the ball back, and I just don't think he's going to be one of those guys they're really looking towards. So I would not be filling him up in my multi.
I'll tell you another hook. Just looking here because I was just watching the Insta video about you talking about Carlton's stats against St Kilda, how you just destroyed him in the stats. Chera 40, Walsh 40, all the boys in the 30s and everything. So Connor Rosie, he was paying $3.40 for 25. And if like he could run around inside St Kilda's zone and pick up 25 touches with ease in this game, still not win the game, but if you can get $3.40, $3 again for Rosie to have 25, I reckon that's an absolute lock. Like the way St Kilda play, you're going to get high ball. It's can you kick goals on their zone? So I'll be looking at that Connor Rosie league for sure.
It's already come into $1.58.
Really? For 25? You're kidding. All right, well, $3.40 last week. How did they get that?
Why was that $3.40 at home against West Coast?
I don't know.
That's dog shit. All right, so we'll both be taking St Kilda in that one. Next game, Jev, Brisbane and Fremantle. So Fremantle has covered the line in each of its last 7 matches as an underdog following a loss. So this is up at the Gabba, Jev. Where do you think the points lay?
Oh, fuck. It should be, on current form of the two sides, should be about 35.5, I reckon, close to 40.
It is 37.5.
Yeah, I can see it from a mile away. Yeah, see, Brisbane have the five. Like, Freo have the defense. They just can't kick any fucking goals. Brisbane have the firepower. Their defense is improving. Their midfield's good. Everyone knows their midfield's good. Like, I think that's the perfect line. I think Brisbane win by about 6 goals. I think they win by about 36 to 40 points. So they've absolutely nailed the line. That is a hard one to bet in. What can I get for the $1.30, Dave?
$1.30, we're either taking Brisbane minus 18.5 or Fremantle plus 56.5.
18.5 or 56.
So
Jeez,
Brisbane minus 3 goals or Freo almost plus 10.
Fuck. Fuck. It's a bit of a tough one, Darc. I actually like that Freo. I can't see Freo getting blown out by over 56 points, but I think you have to take the lines at the Gabba. They've shown how good they are there, so I will lean that Brisbane 15.5 points. Darc, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% taking Brisbane. I predicted at the start of the year just saying that they would be the highest scoring team in the AFL. They went out, they got it done against GWS. They're going to be back on a home deck throughout a day game. They play it so fast. You saw what they did to Melbourne. You see what they can do up there. You see what they did to Collingwood. I think Fremantle are just a bunch of, they're a packet of soup. They're fucking shit hours. I reckon they're going to run all over them. I wouldn't be surprised if they even cover their line, to be honest.
Yeah, smashing. I've noticed a few people in the media the last couple of days have come into bat for Andy Brayshaw saying he's a bit banged up. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets named or laid out of this game because I watched Gary Lyon on the couch. I heard Joey Montagna, and they're all sort of saying, oh, why is Andrew Brayshaw down on form? I know he's carrying an injury, so it must be pretty bad because he is playing pretty average. So,
but I just don't see, like, when Harris Andrews, he can still play really good games of footy. And who's he guarding?
Yeah.
Who's he playing on? Air. Freo don't have a fucking forward.
Yeah.
They don't have a forward, so I'm with you, Jev.
They're going to pump him. Let's be honest. They're going to pump him.
Yeah. All right, next game, Jev. Sydney and GWS. Here's a quick little stat. Sydney has led every quarter in 10 out of the last 11 matches as a favourite.
Yeah, it's a good stat.
There's a little quarter by quarter if you want to go through and punch that in. But where do you think the line is?
Oh, I think we win about 23.5, 24.5 points.
25.5.
Fuck. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to win this. We're going to bounce back. I reckon we're going to have a harsh review. We usually beat the Giants. We usually handle the Giants the last couple of years. So I think we win. So what can I get for $1.30?
So either taking the Swans minus 9.5 or you can take GWS plus 42.5.
See, if we've still got those injuries, that 42 is nice. Like, I know because I was just speaking to my old man, and he doesn't reckon Tom McCartan's going to play.
Yeah,
Paddy,
right.
Paddy McCartan's not going to play, and then Dane Rampy should play. So Brisbane, I like the way GWS play. They just lack a bit of talent. Like they had the tsunami going against Brisbane. They probably lack a little bit to get over the top and win a game. But geez, that Brisbane, that GWS line is probably the line to take. You can't trust the Swans right now.
Yeah, no, the numbers are saying take GWS by that 100%.
The Swans at home, SCG, they've just been pumped. They could put it on. Like, we beat Richmond by 41 points in the end, and we just put it on in the last quarter sort of thing. Ah, fuck. Oh, I better take the Swans line for my loyalty, but
Yeah, no, you better. I'll take GWS. Hopefully they can keep it close. 42.5. It's a fair bit of points. And
yeah.
hopefully the way that GWS midfield, the midfield's actually been playing really well. So hopefully they can keep it competitive. And yeah, hopefully they can hold on and Toby can kick a bag and they just don't get done by fucking 7 goals. Next one, Bulldogs and the Hawks. The underdogs have covered the line in each of the last Western Bulldogs 5 matches at Marvel Stadium.
So it's under the lid.
Under the lid.
I can see this. I reckon the line's going to be about, same thing, about 24, 25 and a half.
28 and a half.
28 and a half. I can see this being one of those games the Dogs blow the fucking shit out of the Hawks. Like they used to do to North on Good Friday when Josh Bruce was kicking 10 and stuff. I can see him. This is those sort of games the Dogs smell blood in the water and they front run and they just torture side. That's all
I agree. And like you watch them last week, their midfielders rolling. They're getting. I think what they call them on first crack. They call them the handball club.
Yeah.
They just love it. They zip it round. But yeah, I think they're too classy in the midfield, and yeah, they've got a lot of firepower. You can see like Jamar, like those guys that just have their certain grounds. Like he could kick another bag against the Hawks. But either $1.30, Jev, we'd take the Bulldogs minus 9.5 or the Hawks plus 46.5.
Yeah, probably both hit, but the way I think this game was going, I'm going to take that Dogs minus 9.5 Darc.
Yep, no, I agree. I think watching them at the MCG in the wet against Richmond, you've seen them go over to Perth. Like they've just played a few more tougher games, and I think I trust the Bulldogs minus 9.5 more than I would trusting the Hawks to cover 46. I think, as you said, I think the Bulldogs could 100% blow them out. Beautiful, awesome. All right, next game, Jev. So we're going to go through. So speaking of a blowout, this could be another one. So we've got Melbourne and North Melbourne. So North Melbourne has failed to cover the line in 5 of the 6 last matches at the MCG. And North Melbourne has lost each of its last 4 night matches by a margin of 40 plus.
Is this at the MCG? Yeah. Oh,
MCG.
Fuck. And what is it, Saturday night at the G?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. This should be 50.5.
44.5.
Yeah. Fuck. The way I'm watching North Melbourne play at the moment, they get beaten up around the ball. They don't know what they're doing defensively. I can see Clary and Petrarca and Gawn and just experienced, well-coached team putting the business on them. Like,
Van Ruin or Fritsch could bounce back and kick 7.
He could kick 7. If Ben Brown plays Van Ruin, yeah. Oh, I like this.
So $1.30 minus 26.5 Melbourne, or you can get North Melbourne plus 64.5.
64 is not enough, is it?
No.
If it was like plus 80, I'd go, I'd give him 80 points, but nah, I'm taking D's line for sure.
I wouldn't trust them with 10 goals either. Yeah, that's an easy one. Melbourne run all of them. They play the G so well. North Melbourne barely ever played it.
What did you say? 26.5.
Minus 26.5.
Yep. Sweet. Yeah, we take that. That's going to be a blowout. Oh, Melbourne are going to win. It should be 40 points. North Melbourne should put up a bit of fight. They finally get a Saturday night at the G. Like, hopefully they play right, but it'll be too big and wide for them, I reckon.
I
agree. Trying to, I heard against Brisbane on that random oval in Adelaide, they're trying to press forward and play this zone defense, and on the bigger ground, they've got no idea what they're doing, and then they just get holes picked through them. So,
imagine watching like May just come in intercepting. Like they're just lever. I reckon they're no hope. No hope this week. No, that's 100% the play, Jev. Now, next one, West Coast versus Carlton over in the West. The only stat that I have, Jev, is West Coast have lost the last 13 out of 14 matches.
They suck. The line, I reckon they're going to blow the Blues up by a few too many points. I'm going to say it's about 31 and a half.
26
26
and
and
a
a
half.
half. Yeah, right. So, geez, that feels like you still take Carlton. West Coast are fucked. They're so injured.
Yeah.
They can play all right. They have
Yeah.
good patches of quarters, but they still concede too many goals.
Yeah. I'm 100% taking the Blues line in that. But for $1.30, Jev, West Coast plus 45 and a half or Carlton minus 7.5. I reckon we're
Yeah,
easily
you're
over a
covering
goal
7.5,
side.
even if it is in the West. You guys love it over in the West, don't you?
Yeah, no, we do. I think this could be a Harry bounce back game.
Yeah, no,
Dead set.
there's no bounce back for that idiot. I'll believe that when I see it. I can't.
I'll back him for 5 while the
So
prices
this
are
is also
inflated.
Saturday night. So we've got the worst team West Coast on Saturday night, and then we've got the second or third worst team North Melbourne playing Saturday night. Great, lucky us.
I'm gonna be watching
Yeah,
cross-eyed.
you love watching the
can't
bag.
fuck
You just
away.
want to see the bags put on, but 7.5 for $1.30 is bloody delicious. You
Could be my bet of
you
the
win
week.
by 30. You win by 5 goals. Still might not play that well, but you win by 5.
Nah,
Big
easy.
Charlie could kick 10.
Easy.
I reckon we're going to look at Charlie for 3 or 4 in the 100K. Definitely 3.
In the reverse, Coleman, Barras.
No, that's
I need to do some. I need to do
and
some.
Bolter
stats
and Stephen May. Stephen May has been having a lot of goals kicked on him, like a lot.
Yeah, he just comes out and just
Yeah.
contests. That's all he
plays
does.
off and plays too far off. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah.
He starts pointing at blokes. All right, Jev, next game, Essendon and Geelong. So Essendon has lost its last 10 matches against Geelong. That's all you need to know.
I was thinking about this game today, and I think Geelong are stone cold fucking certainties. Not because I don't rate Essendon, but they've just played in the hot sun on Tuesday, and they ran out of legs in the last quarter. Now they're going to bounce back on the MCG on Sunday. They're not going to be able to run out this game, especially if Geelong are giving them the business and they're up by 4 goals, and Essendon have to try to get the legs to come from behind. I'm going to say the line should be about, with the way the team's going, about 18.5 because Essendon just ran out of legs. I'm going to say it's about 22.5.
It is 15 and a half.
Yes,
Essendon points.
I love that Geelong line. They're going to be cooked. The Bombers are going to be cooked. They ran out of legs on Anzac Day, and now they're going to turn around in 5 days from Tuesday to Sunday. If the weather's good again this weekend on the G, Geelong just had a soft kill. Yeah, I'll be taking. What can we get Geelong for?
So you can either get Essendon plus 33.5 or Geelong plus 3.5.
Those points. Take those points every day. That's the bet of the round, ass. Geelong plus 3.5.
I love that. You tease that into a Carlton leg. Fuck, I might put me 500 on that.
Stop it.
Jeez, that'd be good. All right, next game, Jev, Richmond and Gold Coast. So Richmond have failed to cover the line in each of its last 6 matches at Marvel. They hate playing there. They hate it.
Suns, no Took Miller. I think this is so. Richmond injured. They hate playing at Marvel. Fuck, this is a tough line. I'm going to say Richmond by about 8.5 points.
17.5.
Feels like too many, doesn't it? Jeez, the Suns play at Marvel every second week, I reckon. This is their third game at Marvel for the year. That feels like too much. I'll definitely be. They were good Richmond the other night.
Who do you trust?
The Suns beat them head to head last year. It's at Marvel. Fuck. I don't even know. That is a good line. But I definitely
just because I'm not sure, I'm just going to have to go the cushion because it's Richmond plus 1.5 or Gold Coast plus 36.
Yeah, we'll take that 36 for sure. I can't say, Richmond don't blow teams out right now. They play everyone close and get beaten.
And I'd hate for Gold Coast to happen to get up and you've only got 1 point with Richmond. We got 6 goals.
6 goals. Yeah, we'll take the Suns. We'll take the Suns there, Das. I like that.
36.5. Now, Jev, this is like game of the round that you just forget that it's on. But Adelaide and Collingwood, so the Crows have covered the line in each of its last 4 matches against opponents that were ranked in the top 4. Inside the top 8. So they've covered the last 4 matches against sides inside the top 8. Now they are at home.
At Adelaide Oval. Collingwood coming to Adelaide Oval. Fuck. So
Pendlebury potentially missing with an eye.
So I think Collingwood I reckon this is like Collingwood by 4.5, 5.5.
So Adelaide are getting 8.5
minus
points.
8.5.
Plus. So
Collingwood minus 8.5.
Collingwood minus 8.5.
Yeah, same thing. Collingwood are completely different to Essendon, but they had just played on Tuesday. Dacos has run 15 kilometres, had 40 touch, 2 goals. He's an absolute freak. Now they're going to get in a plane. They're going to play away from home. Like, they should be playing. I know Collingwood play a million games at the MCG, but after a midweek Anzac Day, they probably should get a home game. Then they travel the next week. So I'll definitely I like the Adelaide points here. I definitely like Adelaide plus some points. How many points can I get Adelaide for $1.30?
Well, so it's either Collingwood plus 10.5 or it's Adelaide plus 28.5.
I'll give me every one of that 28. See, I like Adelaide.
So heavily.
I like Adelaide head to head in this game, to be honest. So
you know where you can get them head to head?
What? 230 here. I'm looking at
230.
So we've taken all the same today.
Yeah, apart from you had to take the Swans for the sake of it.
Oh,
I just took GWS for the points because it's 42 points.
Yeah.
So I actually don't mind. So that's the only one that we've gone different.
So
So actually get us about $12. So St Kilda plus 5.5, Brisbane minus 18.5. I've taken GWS. You've taken the Swans. Both Bulldogs minus 9.5 against the Hawks. Melbourne minus 26.5 against North Melbourne. Carlton minus 7.5. Geelong plus 3.5 against Essendon. Gold Coast plus 36.5, and then Adelaide plus 28.5.
I've got them 27.5 at $1.28 here. Yeah, that multi pays $11.52 for me, same as you. Or you bet 12?
Yep.
Yeah, come on, that is. Let's go. I'll have it.
That's hitting this week. That is hitting.
Yeah, it's so good.
Now those are our lines that we like. If there's any, how many $1.30 legs you need for a $2? 3.
Yeah, I think so.
$3.30 legs get you $2. If you want to double your dosh, if there's any 3 of those lines teased in, like I'll be taking Adelaide, Carlton, and Geelong. So that should get me $2. So I will sprinkle some dosh on that. Now, Jev, before we finish up, the pyramid is exclusively on here, or I suppose the chat, and then obviously the framework will come out tomorrow. Morgs has put that together. It looks insane. I've just asked for a sent copy because I had no idea who it was. So this is the first time I'm looking at it.
That's
so
right.
the pyramid after round 6, Jev, do you want to start from the bottom and work our way up?
No, let's start from the top. So
can I first say at first glance?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So best player in the comp right now, Jeremy Cameron, is on top of my pyramid. So we update it every 3 weeks. His last 3 weeks, Darth, he's kicked 5 against the Swans, 4 against the Eagles, and 7 against the Hawks. They've gone 3-0. We thought he was the second best player in the comp when they were 0-3 and he was dominating. So now he's the cream right now, I reckon. He's the player to catch. He's on fire. Tier 2, I've gone Clary and Bont. I know Collingwood supporters aren't going to like it. Clary's still Clary. He's an absolute stud. And Bont's form right now is absolutely fucked. So he's second.
No, I agree with Bont.
Then Tier 3, so Dacos has come right up. And he's like, I wanted him on the left side of Tier 3, so he's basically the 4th best player in the comp. Because he was a bit, didn't know how to get him into Tier 2. So Dacos, Petrarca, Curnow. Curnow needs a big game to stay there, but his talent, what he's been doing, like he's still that guy. He's just had a Carlton have had a bad 2 weeks. He's had a bad 2 weeks. It's hard when you're a forward. Like, it's very hard. Petrarca's still a guy, and Dacos is the hottest player in the comp. Then it's the gun mids, Tier 4 Das, gun mids. So Cripps, Rainey, Brownlow medalist, Lockie Neal, Jordan Dawson has come in and gone right up high, and he should. He should be there.
Well done.
He's as good as any mid in the comp right now. He's on fire. And Darcy Parish. Darcy Parish has been absolutely great. He was average at halftime yesterday, and then he had about 7 clearances. And I think it was like 19 touches in the second half yesterday. Still a good player. Tier 5, looking at it, so Papley, Charlie Cameron, welcome back after what should have been 9, but he kicked 7. Ever since I dropped him, I got to get these stats up. Hang on. Ever since I dropped him, what did he do? He kicked 6.
6 against Collingwood.
7 against, he kicked, what did he kick against North? I think he kicked 4 or 5. So he kicked 7, 5, and 7 in 3 weeks after I dropped him. So, yeah, he was definitely getting his way back in. Toby Green, Jordan DeGoey, and I've put Max Gorn back up. I never dropped Max Gorn. 100%. I never waved for him. I'm telling you, he's the most valuable, like most important player in the comp. He's an absolute star. He's only going to go up from there. And then bottom row, so Mills is hanging on for dear life. Bottom row. Welcome Jack Sinclair. I saw today in the teams of the week, there's only 2 players that have been in 4 teams of the week out of the 6 games. Nick Davis has been in one, and Jack Sinclair's been in 4 teams of the week. He's been the best halfback in the comp. He's been great, so I'm happy to have him in. LDU's hanging on for dear life. He started the season, he was the best player in the comp. Now they're losing and losing bad. He's just back to just another mid because
2 games in a row under 25, Jev, which we didn't think we'd see.
There's just not much he can do. Cal Wilkie's still there. Connor Rosie's still there. And Tom Stewart still in their spots. Gone. Toot Miller, Andrew Brayshaw, Stephen May, all Gonskis. Toot, I'm really sorry he's injured. Andrew Brayshaw hasn't lived up to it. And Stephen May isn't going as well as he should be. Like, it's ruthless. Like, I've left out Tim English, Isaac Rankin, couple other players people were pushing. Caleb Sarong. It's like Sam Walsh isn't in yet. He'll probably be in the next period. He's too good of a player to not be in it. He's going to play 3 more weeks to get in, basically. There's some good players waiting to get in. Dangerfield's back in form. Like, how hard is it to pick 21 players of everyone playing so well, sort of thing?
Mate, it's
Josh
tough.
Kelly, he's playing unbelievable football. Josh Kelly, he's playing unbelievable football.
Yeah. Steve Canelio's been good, but as you said, it's hard to fit a lot of guys in. And then when you're looking at same position, because it's like position and then value, like Tom Stewart has to be in there, like what he does, and like what you said, like Max Gawn, 100, like he'll probably even push up the board as we get along. But that 4th tier, 1, 2, 3, that 5th tier, Jev, it's probably my favorite. Just seeing the small forwards, Papley, Cameron, Green, to go in there and Gawn.
It's good.
I love it. I absolutely love that run of plays. But yeah, absolutely. The way Dacos has been, I just don't think you could put him over Oliver, who's been your number 1 for about 17 weeks at this point, all off season. Bond 100% deserves that rank. But a few more winning games from Dacos if you can hold it up. But as you said, you can't overtake Oliver just yet because Oliver hasn't done enough. Oliver's still been amazing.
Yeah, and one thing is all the Collingwood supporters were commenting on our shit like, if Dacos isn't on top of the pyramid, it's a fucking joke. If Dacos isn't this and that. But like, it's because it's a bit of the last game of the weekend syndrome. Like, if I did the pyramid after Jeremy Cameron kicked 7 on the Hawks that day, everyone would have been like, if Cameron's not top of the pyramid, you're an idiot. It's because it's the last thing we saw for the weekend was Dacos 40-2. But I took a breath. I had a good think about it. I tried to eliminate the fact that he was the Anzac Day medalist on the last thing I saw, and I'm like, nah, I think this is the right pyramid. He's the 4th. He's in the top 4 players in the comp right now. Like, I'd have him in the top 4 happily. You can decide if he's 1, 2, 3, or 4, but I think that is the right order, Das.
Well, I think the easy question, would you rather take Bont or Dacos?
Well, for 10 years, I'm taking Dacos, but for one game...
now.
Like, for Dacos' form is fucked, but Bontempelli is a genuine superstar. He plays his 200th this week. I saw Damien Barrett said today he's the best Bulldog of all time. I absolutely loved it because he is like... No,
I'm pretty sure Damo came out and said that like a year and a half or 2 years ago.
He's a superstar.
He came out and said that and then said Chad Warner's winning the next 3 Brownlows.
That I rated. Yeah.
Mate, I absolutely love the period. I can't argue with Jeremy Cameron. Oliver's still there. Him and Petrarca, like even like those two are actually working really well together. Gawn, I could see coming out. As you said, Sam Walsh is 100% going to have to put at least 4 or 5 games together before he comes back in. LDU could be one that obviously cuts off at that last
If they just keep getting pumped, no matter how well he's playing, eventually he can't hold on to his spot.
Wilkie's playing amazing at the moment. Interesting to see over the second half of the year. When St Kilda actually come up against Geelong, when they come up against up against the Swans, you guys always fucking bargain. Yeah. So interesting to see how he goes against there. But no,
Sam Taylor from the Giants I loved, but now he's done.
He would have been
now
close.
He's done his hammy. So Tim English is definitely close. So Isaac Rankin, I'll probably copy a heap for him. He's only kicked 1 goal and 1 goal his last 2 weeks. He kicked the first on Nick Newman, then Nick Newman held him. And then he didn't have a sniff until he kicked the winner against Hawthorn on the weekend. So when you're a small forward,
I think it's hard. Yeah, I think it's hard for him to come in because you look at the other guys, they do so much else when they don't get the footy. Like if Rankin's having a good day, he'll get touches, but Cameron will probably push up the ground. Papley can either go in the midfield and kill you, and then Toby Green's just a freak. So he'll do everything at every stage. While Rankin sort of needs those good games to obviously pop up. But I love it,
Yeah,
Jev.
Let's go. I can't wait for it to get posted tomorrow. Morgs will cut this little clip of you and me talking about it, and we'll sort of see how it goes. It's good to see Jordan Dawson there. He's as good as any player in the comp. Absolutely love him. So, and Connor Rosie, he's a hard one because he's really consistent football. He plays well every week, but it's not like Dacos, Clary, Bontempelli well, but it's still good enough to be in the pyramid. Like the Sam Walsh discussion. I'd still take Sam Walsh over him, but he's having a year, like he's got a good head start on Sam Walsh for this season. So,
they've won like what? How many more games have they won? Or no, I think we're even on games
4
now.
But
he's been good. Just wait till you get another month on Sammy, and everyone will remember why he's so fucking good and how hard he runs. No, I love it.
Let's go.
All right, hook, line, and sinker. Any of those lines that you do like, and those ones teased down. All the teased ones are $1.30, so they're away from the $1.91. We got the 100K pod. We got Pringle coming on this week. He's been literally writing notes for every single show, so he'll have a catalog of back data worth of stats. So can't wait to see what biased Geelong legs actually come in the multi this week, and what young guys he likes. Probably Finn Callahan and Ashcroft will be making a firm start in the multi. Jev, looking forward to a big week. And
this club again. I can't wait for another crack. Let's go. I'll speak to you, Darc. I'll see you on Friday. Big show.
Let's go.